Hello and welcome to another episode of the PRFC Fan Show, a fan show by fans for fans. I'm Kevin.
And I'm Edward, and if you couldn't tell, I've been slimming down a little bit. I've been on a diet. I found romaine lettuce for super cheap, and I've been eating a ton of it. I feel great.
How can you feel great eating romaine lettuce? I mean, I know what that's going to do. That must feel awful.
You know, now that you mention it, I've spent a lot of time in the bathroom. What are we doing here anyways? It's the off season. I thought I was on vacation.
You know what? Just because it's the off season for the team does not mean it's the off season for us, and we are going to do a ton of stuff over the next couple months. We've already kicked it off. We had our first official party/FIFA tournament. We had 3 Xboxes here. We had 12 people come in and compete, and a couple other people who just came to hang out and watch the games. And we had a great time.
Yeah, it looked like a great time. I wasn't invited. He picked the weekend I wasn't in town, but yeah, I'm glad you all had fun. Speaking of the off-season, we have to come up with some things to talk about. But fortunately, there was a couple player announcements for the 2019 season. We have Colin Fernandez is coming back, which was awesome.
Great news.
Yeah, great news. And James Musa is also rejoining the club next year. So who are you interested to see come back?
Well, you know my man is Kevin Lambert. I love Kevin. I love his play. I've talked to him once or twice, but he's not saying anything. So I have no idea if he's coming back or not, but I have high hopes.
And my washing machine broke, so I'm really hoping that Karl Wazinski comes back so I can get some clean sheets again in 2019. You know, he's been a staple on the team. He's been tremendous. He also, I just heard from you, it's not news to you, he bought a house recently in Phoenix, so that's got to be good news, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And it would be great to see Karl come back.
USL Yeah! USL No! USL Yeah!
Get your pens and paper ready, kids, because today I'm kicking it homeschool and assigning my USL Yeah to the new dean of Rising University, Rick Schantz. Phoenix Rising dropped the interim tag like it was hot and decided to name Rick head coach in what I imagine is a ceremony in a cave somewhere where all the owners are wearing robes. Bobby Dooley's staring into a fire and getting visions while Burke's in a corner playing a magical flute that only he and Drogba can hear. But I digress. I'm not going to talk about how Kevin asked everyone to give Rick a chance right out of the gate while there was still talk of backfilling from the outside, or how I defended him multiple times, including after the Vegas game where the lights could have gotten the llama, the lone trumpeter, their DJ, and Freddie Adu stoned and played them all the full 90 and still could have beaten our lineup. What I will remind you of is how he won Coach of the Month in his first month, how he finished the regular season at 12-2-6, how he won the Western Conference title and brought PRFC to their first ever final. More than the accolades, though, he inspired his players. A lot of people may remember the first match he coached back in Week 14 against Vegas. JJ scored the opener, and the whole team ran from the pitch to celebrate with Rick. But it seems like a lot of people missed it when the exact same thing happened in the playoffs. Round 2, Swope Park, JJ opens it up, and the team runs straight to Rick. Now, clearly that speaks volumes about Jason Johnson, but it also says a lot about the man that he and his teammates were running to. They believed in Rick from that first goal back in June, and they believed in him all the way to Louisville. If Kevin changed his name to Kevin M and started rapping, he'd tell you, you only get one chance. Do not miss your chance to blow. This opportunity comes once in a lifetime. And to that, Rick's response would be like, yo, and then he'd drop the mic. And I'd be all like, USL Yeah, coach. USL Yeah.
USL No!
As you know, the USL hosts both a Goal of the Year and Save of the Year contest to have a lot of fun with fans. We're going to talk about Save of the Year. I don't understand how the bracket was formed at all. The process for matching up candidates looks to be a mess, and how one keeper was the recipient of 4 saves of the month is a mystery to me. Let me explain. There were 3,378 saves made by keepers over the 8-month season. That averages out to 422 saves a month. Alex Tambakis won Save of the Month 4 of the 8 months this past season. Now, Save of the Month is voted on by fans, but the nominees are composed of Save of the Week candidates that are chosen by the USL. There are 32 teams in the USL, so if you are one of the 5 chosen for Save of the Week, you are part of an elite group, the top 16%. Given there are an average of 422 saves a month, one save is just at 0.2% of all saves in that month. I find it hard to believe that one person would make those odds 4 times in a season. What is basically being said is that one keeper outperformed other keepers at an insanely high rate. This is unlikely at best, and to me that means something is off. Furthermore, round 1 includes 12 candidates, and they are grouped weirdly. First, we have the Tambakis group that ensures he goes to the next 2 rounds. Next, we have 2 Phoenix Rising keepers and 2 San Antonio keepers pitted against each other. Why would you make fans make that kind of Sophie's choice between their keepers when they could have easily have been separated? Why not group them against the 4 Tambakis entries? It makes no sense to me. The fact we have to choose between Lubin and Waz is just wrong, especially when the save used for Waz is a save that he had no choice but to make. He couldn't have gotten away from that ball if he'd wanted to. It was drilled right at him. Why not use his brilliant save in stoppage time against OC in the Western Conference Championship game? He snatched that bullet out of the thin air at full stretch, putting on his best Superman impression and saving the game. It was clearly the better save he had and an obvious choice for both Save of the Month and Year. Now, in the end, none of this is going to matter. The contest is driven by fan votes, and we all know what that means. We are back to voting for the prom king and queen in high school. It's a popularity contest. With that in mind, I can imagine FC Cincinnati will descend on voting like a herd from The Walking Dead and bulldoze poor Spangenberg. Ultimately, it will be Cincinnati's Newton versus Tambakis, who in the past has had fans turn out in droves to support him in winning Goal of the Week. I get that fan voting is a part of all sports, so I don't find fault in the popularity contest side of things. Where I do think the USL has fallen short is how they have set the bracket up in the first place. It's so bad it crosses the line to being unfair to other candidates. In the end, we want a contest that sets everyone up for a fair chance to win. This year, Save of the Year fails at that, and thus that is why it gets a big USL No.
There couldn't be bigger news than this. The king himself, the legend, Didier Drogba, has announced his retirement, right? I think, as a fan of Phoenix Rising, as a fan of the beautiful game, we can't thank him enough for all of his contributions. If you looked around Twitter or Facebook or wherever, people had nothing but good things to say about him, and it's a testament to everything that he's given to all the clubs he's played for, all the cities he's played for. Just a remarkable thing to watch, and we're very, very proud to have said that that he wore a Phoenix Rising jersey.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he was great. Now, I do have to say that his retirement thing was a bit of a mind screw. I mean, I don't know what was up with that. He posted that video where it says, "I'm not going anywhere," from Wolf of Wall Street. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere. And we're all thinking, what does this mean? And then a couple days later, he announces that he's not going anywhere with the little Phoenix Rising button on his suit. Mm-hmm. And it was funny because it wasn't just Phoenix Rising fans. It wasn't the Valley. It wasn't Arizona. It wasn't the USL. The whole world lost their minds over this whole thing, right? People were just going nuts, going, what is happening? I mean, he just really made some heads explode. And I think he was just sitting at home laughing and having a good time. And then he finally was like, yeah, okay, I'm tired of this, and sent out the tweet. Shame on you, Didier, for screwing with our minds. Shame on you.
You know who's a huge fan of Didier Drogba?
I do. Emily Rogawski. She is a Drogba super fan in so many ways. I really like Emily. She's been out here a couple of times, traveled to games. She was at the Louisville game when we played for the USL Cup. And she is just a nice, sincere person. So she was over here. We actually baked cookies together that she gave to Drogba. And we talked about her and her story. And she actually has a fascinating story. So I figure we might as well go ahead and show it.
Yeah, very excited to see that.
Hello, I have got Emily Rogawski here with me, Didier Drogba superfan extraordinaire, who has flown all the way here from New York for a single game just to see Phoenix Rising play and Didier to play. Welcome.
Thank you.
It's awesome having you here. What brought you here to the studio today, Emily?
Well, being in town for the Phoenix Rising game tonight, had to stop by for the Phoenix Rising fan show.
Yeah, of course. That's an important stop.
But yeah, here to talk about Drogba and Phoenix Rising.
She's here because she needed to use my oven to cook cookies.
That's a little part of it.
Yeah, it was.
No, He saved my life today with those cookies in the oven.
Yeah,
Thank you for that.
It was such a sacrifice. No, I'm glad to have you here. You've been at a couple of different games and have had a good time. And if you haven't been up on Emily's site on Twitter or Instagram, you really should do it, because
Especially if you like Drogba.
there's a lot of Drogba. But it is a lot of fun, and it's fun to see the passion. And I know that you played ball for quite a while, and you had quite a history with football, and actually I think you were in an accident, right? And can you tell us a little bit about that?
I had a lot of injuries just growing up, and just wear and tear and overtraining. But I was in a car accident about 5 years ago now, and broke my jaw, had my jaw wired shut, I had a laceration, had a concussion.
Wow.
So, but it all happened for a reason, and I'm stronger because of it, and if anything, probably increased my passion for the game, because I was able to, because I could not leave the house and move for a while, I was able to watch more games. What
else you can do?
Yeah.
Watch footy.
Watch more games, study the game, but yeah.
Now you played, correct? And because of the injuries from the accident, you're no longer able to play. Is that correct?
It's not even, I think the injury from the accident, just the impact of it. Now I'm kind of getting like back injuries and just an overall kind of body injury, but a lot of my injuries just came when I was younger, and my anatomy was just not made. My hip bones were just larger than they were supposed to be, and cartilage in places deteriorated, and this was 7 years ago, and doctors really didn't notice it until my back issue started. And one day last spring, my back just gave out, and when I got up, I couldn't straighten out my leg, and I went to a hip doctor. They said I needed hip surgery. He saw that I had a hernia for the past 7 years.
Oh, so 7 years.
And then he referred me on to another doctor who said I had to get a tenotomy on my adductors as well, on both sides. So yeah, I'm still kind of recovering from that surgery, but a lot of the injuries was just wear and tear. I overworked. I think that's what I've always prided myself on. Like, I refused to be at work, so I kind of literally ran myself into the ground a bit. And
understood. Yeah,
but I think it really does all happen for a reason, and I miss it a lot. And playing will always be like my deepest love, but from it I learned how important the mental side of the game is, and I studied sports psychology in college, and I really want to help athletes through injuries. And I think it's just when you can't train your body, you can train your mind. So I've really developed an appreciation and respect for the mental side of the game.
Well, kudos to you for having gone through what you have and turning into a positive thing.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't play foot anymore because I'm old and fat. That's not a good reason, but it is what it is. So I know that you're excited to see DDA tonight, of course.
Third time's the charm.
Yeah, there you go. And I'm going to try and help you make that happen.
Thank you.
She has cooked these cookies that they're Oreos that are encased inside cookie dough, and yeah, they're really good. They're really good. So you're going to bring those to the stadium. You have a sign that you're picking up for the game. The plan is to be able to see Didia. Are there any other players that you're hoping to say hi to?
I mean, I really just love the team. I mean, I joke around and say, well, thank you for putting up with me and dealing with all the Drogba craziness that comes with me. But it's always, I like to always see Amadou Dia again, because I joke around and say he had to deal with me the longest. If you ever see this, I'm sorry. When he was at Montreal with Drogba. But I mean, I really just love all the players. I mean, anyone in particular, I would love to see them all, but last time I saw Kevin Lambert, I saw Mala, but hopefully I'll get to see a few more.
Cool. Yeah. Well, it's going to be a great game tonight. Big game tonight with T2, so you picked a good night to come out here and check it out. Hopefully, if we have another playoff game, well, I guess the next one would be away, so we'd love to see the final game happen in Phoenix. You heard it here first, folks. We'll see what happens, but we got to get through tonight. So in your perfect world, if you could just go out and have drinks with Drogba tonight, that would be the perfect end of the night, right?
I mean, for me, it's always, when it comes to Drogba, I always say I just want him to feel the appreciation and feel the love, and I think that's what's so special about Phoenix Rising, because the support from the fans, and it's really culture. And I feel like that makes it so unique. And I think when he first came to MLS, I wasn't sure how the fans would respond to him, because sometimes it's like a difficult league for the players to come to. But then when so I would always just say, I just want you to feel love. I want you to feel appreciated.
Cool.
And then just trying to go above and beyond. Like, I try to not ask anything for him. I'm just like, how can I give back to you? Because you've already given me so much.
Cool.
And I think when he went to Phoenix Rising, I was a little upset because I was like, it's a West Coast team, it's so far, you know. But to see the way the fans respond to him and they're always cheering him on and the support they give, like, I know he's good in hands here, and I know he certainly feels the love here. So for me, like, drinks with Drogba, I mean, I'd be like, I don't want to bother you, but no, I mean,
hey,
he's
look,
just a
we
cool
all want
guy
to go out
too,
and have drinks with
yeah.
Drogba. All of us do, you know.
He's a cool guy, so.
He is. He would just be cool to be able to sit down and chat with, you know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Hang out, have a beer, just kind of chill with. You could learn a lot.
I'm sure he would say after the final, though.
Yeah, there's no drinking before that. Yeah, that's true. So tonight you're going to be on the west side of the stadium. You're going to show up. You've got your mom here with you. You both got your pink hair going on. Now you got to tell me what's the pink hair all about? Is there symbolism?
It was from my grandma who had breast cancer, and she like fought it beautifully, but she always just loved my hair, so I put in like pink for her, and I've had it for 6 years now.
Wow.
Yeah, and then
nice.
she got hers when I moved to England. So I was like, because my mom's my best friend, so I was like, yeah, they got like a little piece. But yeah, so it is like breast cancer awareness, and I think the thing about it is that I feel like everyone has someone who's been affected by breast cancer.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever some people ask me like, oh, is that like for something, like especially in October, I'll say breast cancer, and it turns into this conversation about how strong someone's mother was, or like their sister, and it just turns into a conversation about like strength and family.
That's wonderful.
Which I think is nice.
And I think it's really cool that your mom, and her mom's off camera back here, Christy's hiding in the background. That's awesome that you colored your hair, you know, just to remember Emily as she was gone overseas, and I think that's wonderful. Family's what's important, you know, and remembering like that is, you know, of course, the most important thing. Yeah. Well, I hope you have a great time tonight. I'm going to try to help you to, you know, be able to see DDA in some form or fashion.
Even if I just like, you know, even if you just guess the cookies, that's
fine.
You
just throw cookies at him. He's like, who beat me with the cookie, man?
He'll pick it up from before and be like, Emily.
Yeah, Emily. See security start coming out. Yeah, that'd be bad. But thank you so much for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, it was great, and thanks for the cookie because it was delicious.
Oven.
Yeah, no problem. And we'll see you tonight at the stadium.
Sounds good. Thank you.
A big thank you to Emily for the interview. That was fantastic stuff. And also, you know, it looked like a really great time at the FIFA tournament. I was sorry I couldn't be there, but I'll definitely be there next time.
Yep, it was a lot of fun, and we want to emphasize we have more events, more things going on, more shows. This is going to be something that you're going to see a lot more of over the next couple of months. And also, we have a revamp of the show that's coming. Yep, PRFC Fan Show version 2.0 is headed your way the beginning of January, probably somewhere between the 1st and the 14th. And there are going to be some pretty significant changes that we think are fantastic. So look forward to that. In the meantime, I'm Kevin.
And I'm Edward, and I'm getting hair plugs. And this is the PRFC Fan Show.
Why do I do
this? See you next time.
And so that's what they really do with that llama in Las Vegas.
I knew it. They seem like they would. Who is this guy? What is going on here? Hey, this is you're not taking the table. Okay, I gotta go. See you later, man.
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Edward, and I'm getting hair plugs.
Why?
It's a 2.0 show, man. Jazzing it up. Party up top.
I quit.